Hey, how's it going everyone? Shimoki here, and today we're taking a look at Morgan Le Fay, the most recent god in Smite, to be released in patch 8.6. So I'll give my thoughts about the character, and we'll try out some combos a little later on, but for now, let's just go through her abilities. So first off with her passive, basically whenever you hit someone with a ability, you gain a little bit of magical power. It's a little hard to read this, I might want to change that icon in the background. But anyways, you gain a little bit of magical power, 2 plus 0.4 per level for each symbol, and then the duration, it'll time out after 10 seconds, and then the mark duration is 30 seconds. Jeez, that is not easy to read, but yeah. So it lasts for a long time. I mean, this is one of those ones that sort of sits in the background. You don't really have to think about it too much until it's like Susano passive basically, where you don't really worry about it until you're getting close to the point where it's maxed out, and then you can work with it from there. Because once you get all 5 of your symbols acquired, you gain double the magical power buff, the total magical power buff, and reduces the cooldown of consuming power by 10 seconds before the symbols are all drained. Which is her ultimate here. So let's get into some of her abilities. So kind of a basic passive, a lot of words to say very little. Basically you get more power as you hit enemy gods specifically. So let's get into her one here. So it's two phase AoE. There's a big AoE and then a smaller AoE in the middle, and the smaller AoE, the second hit, will apply certain effects depending on which version of the ability you cast. So this one here is the fear. So well, let's show the ability first. So say we use the first version of this ability like that. So the first hit will deal damage in the AoE, and then the smaller hit will also deal damage and then apply whatever it was that you selected for that particular ability. So, oh, my bad. This is a little bit of an awkward ability to use, to be honest. But okay. So, one, to open up the menu, and then basically with instant cast, it does the same sort of thing. I'll show you that in a sec. So you got your fear, you got your slow. This will create actually a slow pool that'll stay for 4 seconds. And then this one creates a little decoy of herself, like a Wukong decoy, that stays for 4 seconds and just auto attacks them. That's probably, I don't know. That one doesn't feel great to me, but let's show all of them. So second up, do the slow. And it creates this slow field here. Cool. And now let's create the decoy. Boom. And she just goes ham and attacks. So that'd be nice for rush down, but you know, my thinking is with these. My thinking is with these. Typically, you know, if you're running someone down, it's probably better to use the slow or the fear, or if you're trying to peel for yourself, the slow or the fear is probably going to be better most of the time. So, of course, I'll have to actually play with the decoy, see how much damage it does. Maybe it is better, but I don't know. Let me show you how instant cast works with this, because it is a little bit of a weird ability. So, of course, for me, I use this targeting thing here. It just works for me, but so that makes it a little easier for me. So you just press 1 and then press 1, 2, or 3 again, and it'll use that particular version of it. So it might take a little getting used to, but not super complicated. So let's move on to her 2 here, which is another 2-phase ability. So first, well, let's just show the ability and then explain it. So you got here, this is the first part of the ability, this rectangle here, and that'll knock up, and then the dragon will move forward, and as long as their enemies are in this general area, this line here, they'll all be hit by the second phase. So let's see if we can get this guy hit by both. Yep. See, hit twice there. So knock up, and then a dragon thing that kind of shoots him to the side. See if you do it like that. Yeah, pushes them like forward and away. Pretty high damage ability too, gotta say. So this is a decent ability for rushdown. Probably want to use it last because of course pushes them away a little bit. So if you're trying to finish someone off with this ability, make sure they're low enough, because if you only hit one part of the ability, not actually that much damage. I mean, the whole thing does a billion, and this is going to be a really great self-peel tool for her. Or just to engage on someone. Say you got a flank going on and you're just like, hey, Boom, like that. So it's a great ability for that, but maybe you can go like Dragon and then cast that right after. That's a good little combo, but the ability itself you might want to be a little bit careful of pushing people away with, unless of course you're trying to self-heal. So another cool ability for her is her 3, which is actually a bit like a Susano 3. Sorry, I keep bringing them up like every time. But so she shoots this out. This will go through minions. Shoots it out, stops on enemy gods, and then takes them for a moment. And this debuff on them means if they use a movement ability, they'll take a burst of damage. So basically, if Morgan puts that on you, yeah, don't use any movement abilities. Just do not. So it actually wouldn't be a bad call just to go like this, and then, well, maybe not use the fear. Maybe use the slow and just try and chase them down, because you could just keep on chasing them down until the buff, yeah, the little buff runs out, and that lasts for 4 seconds. So I mean, 4 seconds is a long time for a Morgan just to be like, oh yeah. And you still can't jump. You took all that, and you still can't use movement abilities, so then she could go into her ult to chase you down. And I know I have the reduced cooldown thing on, but yeah, her cooldowns aren't actually very long at all. So that's nice. So let me just try and show off the movement debuff. Okay, I don't actually know how to make her backflip. Come on, you can do it. No? Okay. Always so difficult to work with. Alright. Show 'em how it's done. There you go. You guys see the ability pop on her. So this ability has the potential to do 1 trillion damage if they use a movement ability while the debuff's on them. So can we go in T here? Oh yeah, because I hit her with her twice. My bad. But yeah, you guys can read the damage numbers here. The bonus damage here is the debuff popping that I was talking about. So you got the base damage, then tick damage, and if they use a movement ability, ooh, it does so much damage. And then one thing I forgot to mention, when you have this on an enemy god, you gain movement speed. So, and that of course also lasts for 4 seconds. So you have move speed while they can't use any movement abilities. So really nice little trade-off there for Morgan. All right, so let's get into her ultimate here. An interesting ability. So let's apply some marks to that guy. And let me just put these on instant real quick. So here, this is not actually a damaging portion of the ability. This allows you to, you see how the Odin's highlighted? This lets you suck up any symbols that are on, regarding your passive symbols. This lets you suck up any passive symbols that are on enemy gods right now. And that lets her go into her ultimate. So let's read this first, because it's a little deceiving, because it looks like a very, very simple ability when it's activated. So for a short duration, she can fire out 3 devastating strikes of dark energy, which is a straight line projectile that goes through everything, including enemy gods, dealing damage and providing a missing health heal per enemy god hit. I'll see if I can get myself a little low to show that off. Initial marks consumed increase the width of the energy projectile, so the more symbols you get off of this cone area, the more powerful it becomes. Initial marks consumed... Oh, I'm silly. Subsequent heals per projectile is reduced by 50%. Yeah, so as I said, the ult goes through everything, so... You know, a little bit of balancing there to make her so she doesn't just heal to full. She probably will anyways, because new god. But, yeah, let me go take some damage and try that out. Okay, so let's cast it now. Let's suck up these symbols. And just get to slicing. There you go. So she can shoot out that 3 times, and of course every hit heals her, and it goes through everything. And actually, I can show it again in a moment, and you'll notice that the line will be a little bit thinner because I won't be sucking up any symbols from these guys because they're already they've been sucked. I'm sorry to say. So do it again. See how it's a little bit thinner this time, but still shoot them through and do full damage and get a nice little heal. So that's Morgan Le Fay, really. Simple, but also very not simple at the same time. Goes for the other Arthurian gods, really. Not a particularly unique character, I'll say. At least feeling to play, that is. She doesn't feel super duper unique. But I think there's going to be a lot of crafty things you could do with Morgan. And of course, she actually has a really nice base health pool, so she is actually a little bit, tankier. And I think maybe building lifesteal on her would be a really good call. I think she could be potentially really crazy, honestly. I don't love the way the 1 works. I mean, it feels okay. It feels better than Baba Yaga 2, that's for sure. But it is a little awkward to use because you got to go 1 and then press another button. You can't just like mash it to have it come out quicker. That is if you want to use the 2 or the 3, or you could just mash if you want to use the fear. But say if you want to do the slow, you kind of got to go like that. It's a little awkward, but I mean, I'll take it. So it's some combos with her. Ooh, it's a little hard to just theorize on it, but I mean, like you could do something like throw that out, and then as they're being pushed back by the Phoenix, you can apply the 3 on them for free, like that, something like that. And then while you have the movement speed, maybe you want to do this and just slice them up. But yeah, I do think you definitely want to hit them with something else first before using the ult. Oh, actually, I don't have the ult up. I'm goofy. I'm sorry. So let's wait for the ult. All right, so say you do like this. Now they can't move without getting debuffed, and boom, something like that. Yeah, she does really crazy high damage. You just really have to be careful about what's it called? Using your 2 aggressively, because that's pretty much your only means of self-peel. I guess also, like, turning and ulting, like, oh, someone's after me, okay, I'll use this to get a heal, get away. Well, actually, you could also turn around 3 and just get the move speed to try to walk away. Something like that. But trying to get a full combo while holding onto your self-peel is probably something that people are going to want to try and learn. So using without using the 2, I guess you could go something like, oh my god, that's so awkward. Sorry. It's definitely something I'll get used to, but yeah, a little weird. All right, let's try that again. Just like off the fear. Like that. Okay, that feels good. That feels good. Pretty cool character. I don't really think there's much to be done about the 1. I mean, I think it's just something we're going to have to get used to. Other than that, though, I think she's a cool character. Not quite as cool as Merlin and King Arthur, unfortunately. But, I mean, she looks fantastic. So, I mean, and sounds fantastic.
Greetings.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'll take this character. Not the most unique character in the world. But it feels decent to play. Her 2, 3, and 4 feel really good to use. It's just the 1 that's a little awkward, but I mean, I'll take it because that's you can do some really fun, cool little combos, and basically use your brain with this character. Kind of. I mean, she's not rocket science mechanically, right? I mean, you got circle, rectangle, rectangle, rectangle. So I mean, she's not extremely hard to play or anything. But you can use a lot of trickery to your advantage, right? Like holding on to your 3, maybe holding on to your 2, maybe using a slow instead of the fear, but comboing into it, things like that. Holding on to your ult and stuff, because the ult. Let's see just how far this goes. Yeah, the ult goes extremely far. So I mean, you can maybe trick people into thinking, oh, maybe she doesn't have ult, she's letting me get away, and then you just whip out the ult on them from like halfway across the lane. So I think that wraps up my little preview on Morgan Le Fay. I'm pretty excited for her, honestly. So let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think Morgan's cool? Morgan's not? Well, she's obviously cool, but are you excited to play as her? Is the big takeaway here? Are you excited to try her out for yourself? Let me know, and thanks for watching.